My Way by Frank Sinatra, and I was like, oh yeah, obviously. Imagine writing that. It'd be a great moment when you finished writing that. But that was good. Hi, I'm Ellie from Wolf Alice, and this is Soundcheck with Wonderland. A song that reminds me of who I am is Nothing Came Out by the Moldy Peaches, which I actually haven't listened to for a really long time, but when I listened to it, I really remember I was really inspired by that song when I first heard it, because it's so charming, and yet it doesn't, sometimes you listen to a song and you're like, how could I possibly ever play this or do this? And that song is there's something quite childlike about it, which was encouraging to me as a young person who wanted to do music. And yet it's very emotional, very sweet, and a great song that I still enjoy. A song I wish I wrote, I had this conversation with my brother the other day, and he was like, My Way by Frank Sinatra, and I was like, oh yeah, obviously. Imagine writing that. It'd be a great moment when you finished writing that. But that was good. The song we play before we go on stage is Happiness by Alexis Jordan, because if you listen to that song, guaranteed put you in a good mood and you feel fired up to go on stage and have a nice time. So, a song that could break me is pretty much anything by Sofia and Stevens, but Is Anyone Gonna Love Me? Is that what it's called? Is anyone gonna love me? I think it's called Is Anyone Gonna Love Me. It's so sad. It's really sad, but beautiful. Oh, well, let's Frank Sinatra My Way again, which is, you can answer every question with that song. Okay, well, there's this song, this is quite niche actually, but there's this song that is called Girlhood, and it's from the film Girlhood, and I think it's by an artist called Power One, and when I listen to it, I get a potent kind of almost physical response. It moves me even though there's no lyrics in it. When I get that feeling, I feel like that's the feeling I'm always chasing with music, whether it's writing or listening. So it reminds me of why I do this, because that feeling is very exciting. One song that perfectly captures heartbreak, and I've said this before, is Love Is a Losing Game by Amy Winehouse. So sad, and she's so nice. Her delivery is so beautiful, and yeah. A song that I love to cover. We've covered Song to the Siren before by Tim Buckley, and I think all my friends love that song, like my girlfriends and stuff, and they want to sing it and stuff like that, and that's so nice. That it's just a nice song to sing for some of these reasons, which makes it a nice cover. I have a lot of favourite albums of all time. I always find that question hard. When I've listened to the first 3 Kings of Leon albums, I just still really love them, and it really I was just like, oh yeah, maybe that's more of reminds me of who I am, because I'm often I kind of forget to listen to them, and then I just loved them when I was younger, and I can't remember what the question is, but I love Kings of Leon. I always like whatever's the newest song. I like performing the Sofa the most at the moment. It's really, I feel like I used to like anything that was upbeat and loud and angry and fierce, and now I'm very interested in how to get that feeling, that kind of release that you get from those heavy songs, in songs that aren't like that, performative without necessarily being angsty, is something that interests me. Thank you for listening to my song picks. I'm Ellie from Wolf Alice. Goodbye.